that goals are very important, but I've also found from past experience that goals can actually be a place that brings up fear and maybe anxiety for some people. I can speak for myself. Back when I started doing goal setting with Lululemon, I was actually scared to even write stuff down. But then when I found that there's so much power in writing something down that you believe in for yourself, so it starts from that simple act of just writing it down. What do you want to see come into fruition for yourself? And then where do you see yourself like 3, 5, 10 years from now? There's something very powerful in that. And so if you start on a big macro level and then you back up, you take several steps back, and then you start to implement those little steps of how you're going to get to that goal. And from what I've found through several projects and working with clients and working with students, it's like you reach these little goals, these little thresholds, these milestones. And through the process, that's really where the learning takes place. And then you get to the end and it might not be what you wanted it to look like, but what did you learn in the process? So I feel like we live in a culture and a society that's it's like hyper goal driven. So from a yogic perspective, and you bring it back into reality, it's like, okay, you can take these steps to reach your goal, but it might not necessarily mean you're going to get there. And you can work towards something. It's like having a fierce drishti. But then on the path, on the way, you do what you can, and then give yourself permission to step back and see what you've created. There's the opposite of force, which is ease. And if you're forcing too much, just take a couple deep breaths, step back, and then it's really amazing when you're not forcing so much, when you step back, how much more can open. You have a path, you have a dharma that you're supposed to lead, and it's not always going to be easy. Challenge actually pushes us to our next threshold and teaches us so much about who we are. Because, sometimes we just get so hyper-focused on things and we lose the fun and the joy in it. And we're supposed to have fun along the way, too. And so there's a beautiful lesson in surrender. So, really, there's not an answer to that question. I wish there was, but really, we're all just walking through life as, it's kind of like a laboratory. It's an experiment every day that we wake up. Recently, I just went to the Lululemon Ambassador Summit in Vancouver, and a lot of the work that they do is personal development for their ambassadors. And in studying with Baron Baptiste and Shiva, and also with Christina Sell, there's a lot of personal work, and that's one thing I love about the yoga practice is the svadhyaya, the self-study. That's been so key for growth. And so this offering at the festival is foundation and possibility. So you can be new to yoga, you can be experienced, but really anytime we're starting something new in our life, we have to be open to it first. It's really making a decision, making a choice for yourself. Are we open? Are we not? So we're going to do some journaling. We're going to do some actually meditation first, then we're going to do some journaling. Then we're going to practice some asana. And, every time we we do something like this. It's very organic, so I'm just excited to see who comes, and I love to see the light turn on in people through their spirit, and hopefully these little nuggets that they acquire from this practice at the festival, they can take out and start to implement into their life. I just want to acknowledge how awesome this community is.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Malia.